Marshall, what are you taking a look at right now?
I'm focused on what Joe Biden needs to take away from what just happened here. There was a lot of talk at the start of his presidency about Joe Biden is the new FDR, much as, frankly, happened during the Obama presidency too. And speaking of your most recent monologue, the question facing both political parties moving forward has been, how do we get office and then use our mandate to do something big? Whether it's Obama and the stimulus package, whether it's President Trump and reforming healthcare or passing the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, you've now had Joe Biden try to do the same thing with Build Back Better. And that just has distinctly not worked. So hitting this point in Virginia, in New Jersey, and Long Island, President Biden needs to take this exact moment to, frankly, hit reset and reconceptualize himself as a president. Once again, there is a almost 50-50 Senate where you have two senators on the Democratic side who Joe Biden can literally offer nothing. It's Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, no matter what their motivations, have no incentive to push through an aggressive agenda, which is bad news if you're conceiving yourself as FDR in 1933 or FDR in 1937. It was a mistake on the part of pundits, on the part of people in the Democratic Party to put that idea in Joe Biden's head. That is effectively over last night. Frankly, it never really existed in the first place. If you do not have a governing mandate, you cannot actually do something. It's important to note that President Obama actually had a 60-seat Senate majority for a hot second there, and that wasn't even sustainable in the long term either. So I suggest that politicians in the Democratic and Republican parties try something a little different. What say they try just not doing anything? Now, that sounds counterintuitive, but it actually jives really well for what Sagar is saying. And let's speak specifically to Democrats here. If you are a Democrat, you have to recognize that for good or for ill, you are the party of institutions. You're the party of the public school system. You're the party of the federal government. You're the party that wants affirmative things. You want to pass a healthcare bill. You want to pass a stimulus package. You want to do a variety of things. As we learned during the Trump presidency, Trump could actually not do literally anything. The Republican Party could not actually even have a platform in 2020. And actually, he could improve on his votes. So if you're a Democrat, you're going to default to wanting to do things. However, whenever things have been done, it actually hasn't worked. And part of the reason why this hasn't actually worked is the actual institutions that Democrats are trying and attempt to do things through, whether it's the Congress, whether it's the public schools, whether it's the National Institute of Health. These institutions in and of themselves have lost trust, they are not taken seriously, and they do not have any ability to actually do anything. So the Biden reset that should effectively happen is, and this is frankly what Biden should learn from President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, what are voters actually saying, and what does what they're saying necessitate me to actually do? So if you're a voter in 1933, you were dissatisfied with capitalism, you didn't think that the American governmental structure was set up well, you didn't think American society was fair. So for good or for ill, FDR pursued the New Deal. He had a specific big program that transformed America, but spoke to those specific concerns. Looking at America in 2021, going into 2022, it seems that our equivalent of voters utterly lacking faith in the capitalistic system is voters lack faith in their institutions at a national and a local level. They lack faith in Congress. They lack trust in their public schools. You saw this in Virginia. So the project for Joe Biden, the next 3 years, it's not going to be passing a big bill that's going to have a 10-year spending plan that people basically don't understand. It basically needs to be focusing on restoring trust, or at least attempting to restore trust or get things to a default in our politics so that things could actually be done. All these big, ambitious plans, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're in the center, are going to require a reconfiguration of institutions, just a complete reset there. That's not sexy. It's not what the lobbying groups are going to tell you to do. It's not going to be what the staffers want to have big biographies are going to tell you to do, but it's actually the literal only thing that President Biden could do moving forward, especially considering the fact that Republicans are almost certainly going to dominate in the midterm elections moving in. So the claim here is reset, default. You actually are not going to accomplish anything. That is not your historical role. Joe Biden is a transitional president that hopefully will get us to something better. But if he thinks of himself as the new FDR who's going to pass a big program, he's almost doomed to failure.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny whenever you're putting that, which is, and I've even said this before, I think they would be better off.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it. You get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.